Hey guys, welcome. In this video we're going to take a look at multidimensional arrays. Alright, so we take one array and basically stack them together so we get a whole multidimensional array, okay? These are used, for example, in statistical programming. That's how I use them when I do statistical programming, to analyze, for example, data and to produce reports and so on. Alright, so crank up Visual Studio, make a templated project as I've done here. I'll paste some code down below. And let me highlight this, comment that out. Okay, so step number one will be to create an array and then use the new notation. The notation is nothing particularly surprising. It looks like this, int, and then you're going to put a comma there to indicate multiple dimensions. So for example, rows and columns. Now remember, rows are the ones that go from top to bottom or bottom to top. Columns are the ones that go from left to right or right to left, depending on how you choose to see things. So, and then you're going to say matrix, of course. It's a matrix, and then now you will see new int, and then 3, 2. Okay, so what this is saying is declare and set an array of size 3 by 2, meaning 6 cells or 6 entries that it can hold. Okay, there you go. Alright, so now to manipulate these, access them, and so on, we use nested for loops. Okay, one loop controls basically the column index, one loop controls the row index. So that means is the following. Let me delete this code here. There you go. Okay, so now you're going to type 4 and then int_i equals 0 like this, and then I is less than. Now you'll type matrix dot get length like that, and then you're going to put 0 in here. Okay, 0 what exactly? Well, get the length here. Okay, the first length. Okay, like that. So the first 3 represents the number of rows, and 2 is like the number of columns. There you go. So this is saying here, get the number of rows for us. Alright. And then I++, and close this with a semicolon, and then do that. Okay, now within it, you will now add another for loop that will take you over the columns. Okay, so what we are going to do is fix a single row, and then go across the row. It'll move to another row, go across the row, then we'll move to another row, and then go across the row. Okay? We're taking in that sequence. Not that it has to be done that way, but something to do. So for int_j here equals 0, and then j less than matrix dot get length 1. Like that, and then j++, and then it looks like this, you see? Alright, so the question is, once we are inside the second for loop, how do we, for example, fill these entries? So you're going to type the name of the array, the index, so I, like this, and then let's store some values there. It doesn't really matter, we'll just put in some stuff there. And here's what it is. Like that, okay? So I minus j times j minus 2 times I. And to display, of course, you do the same thing, except you type console.writeLine, and then, okay, so the value at indices is the plural, like this, okay? Some people say indexes, whatever you want to say. Okay, so the value is, we'll just do it that way. And here you're going to put, here, of course, a placeholder, comma, and then again matrix, and then I, j, and close that with a semicolon, like that, right? That's how you will display. Alright, so believe it or not, this is all of the code. Let me delete this. There you go, that's the heart of our little machine here. We indented this a little more. That'll do. Okay. So make sure we don't have any mismatched braces. So that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's also. So let's give it a build. Oh. I misplaced something somewhere. Ah, right here where I put the comment. There you go. And that's it. So let's give it another build. Make sure it takes. It's correct. Excellent. So now look very carefully. This you have to do with the debugger. Debug step into. Because when the code is so complex, I know when you first see this is very complex. I understand that. So there's our matrix. As you can see, at first it's null. Now, all we've done is that so far. So if you expand this, so far we can tell that at index 0, 0, we store a 0, okay, which is a type integer here, as you can see. Then at 0, 1, then we have 1, 0, 1, 1, then we have 2, 0, 2, 1. So look very carefully. We have the I, right, which is like the first index here that goes from 0 to 1 to 2. Yeah. So there are 3 of them, right? 0, 1, and 2. That's 3. So that confirms that this number here represents the number of rows. Okay. And the second number is the number of columns. Okay. So we have that. Look very carefully. Now we're going to talk about the concept of fixing one variable while varying another. So first we set I equal to 0. We check whether it's still less than the length of the first dimension, like that, and it is, right? If you expand this, you see that. And now that's going to allow us to step into the second one. There's j equals 0. We're going to check whether this value is less than the length of the second dimension, which is the number of columns here. And it is, so you're going to display and come over here and check display. And now this time it will fail. And we're going to come up here, check, like that. What this is saying is check whether there are still rows to go through, and there are. Okay, so now we're going over the columns. And we run out of columns, so come up here. There should be one more row, right? We've done 2, so this will be the third row. This condition should still pass. And it does, so now within that row we will go over the columns. That means horizontally sweep across the cells. That's how you imagine it, at least. Like that. Okay. Again, make sure we still have columns. At the end we will have columns, no rows, so that fails, and the whole process is complete. And that's it. Okay. And of course you can just go debug and start with without debugging. And there are our values also, you see. We can delete that. And that's it. And of course, if you want to, visualize a matrix like this one here, just think of an Excel spreadsheet. And I'll put something in the sidebar also to go with this, like a picture, because it'll be very helpful here to help you identify the labeling of the cells, okay, with the indexes or indices. But that is it. So thanks very much, guys. I will see you in another video.